Hello everyone, welcome back to the course of Core Java. And today in our lesson number 25, we are going to learn about import and what is daemon problem and how Java provides a solution to it using interface. Okay, so import is just a small topic. Actually, I wanted to cover it in our last session, but somehow it missed. So I will cover it today. So you see in our last session's example, when we were extending D using the protection of other package, right? That means from package P1 we had to give the whole package name, okay, right? So in that case Java provides us import keyword so that we don't have to write this whole package name again and again, right? If you go to this example also in E, you can see that I am having to write the whole package name even for instantiating a object as well, okay? So in that case what we can do, we can simply import this com.code.any, okay, .p1, right? This star means inside this package whatever classes will be there, everything will be imported, okay? If I remove this, now it's not throwing any error because it's working fine, right? So another thing, instead of star we can write the class name as well. So this is also not throwing any error. That means when we import, we can import a specific class of that package, and this is more efficient. If let's suppose there is a package and you want to use only one class, then you can use the specific name of the class to import, okay? And otherwise if you have multiple classes or almost all of the classes in that package to be imported that you are using in your code, then you can simply write star, okay? So that is how import works, right? So that was just a quick example of importing packages, right? Okay, so next we'll move on to our next subtopic, that is daemon problem, okay? So hope you already understood inheritance from our previous lessons. So in inheritance you have seen that I am always extending one parent class only, okay, only one parent class. So in this example, let's say we have a class D, right? We'll use the previous example only, previous lessons example. We are having a class D which extends protection class, right? So let's say I want to extend another class, namely E. So what will happen? Immediately it will throw error, syntax error, right? Inside class body to complete class declaration, because Java expects that after you extend a single class, you immediately should start defining the body of the class. You cannot write another class, okay? You cannot extend. Like in case of C++, we used to write this, but even then error will be thrown, okay? So that means Java does not support multiple inheritance. Why is that? Because in multiple inheritance there is a daemon problem. Daemon problem means there will be one parent class, then you have two subclass, and then another base class will be there which will inherit both the subclasses. Now for example, there is a method in that subclass, okay, sorry, there is a method in those two parent class, and your base class will be confused whether to use the method from parent class 1 or to use the method from parent class 2, and Java does not support any ambiguity. So that's why, to avoid daemon problem, Java does not support multiple inheritance, okay? But Java provides us with a solution, that is interface, right? So what is interface? Okay, we'll move on to our lesson number 25 project. Okay, we'll close this. So here I have the lesson number 25 project and a package created in it. So simply right click on the package, then click on new. You'll get something like interface. Okay, create Java interface. So what interface is? Interface is nothing but a representation of abstract class, okay? So Java provides you with a specific type of class, okay? You can say it is class only, but it has to be completely abstract. So instead of having a class called abstract where some of the method will be abstract and some will not be abstract, So Java provides a whole different interface for you, that means whole property for you, where you can have a interface, and inside that interface all of your method will be abstract. So in a way you can say a completely abstract class is what a interface is. Okay, so let's name our interface as 1. Okay, if1, let's name it, just for naming convention, right? Just click on finish. So when you click on finish, you will be presented with something like this. Okay, to declare a interface, to define an interface, you need to use the interface keyword, right? In class we used to use class, here we'll use interface. Okay, inside the interface we can have a number also, I mean variable also you can, but the catch is that your variable should always be initialized inside the interface itself. For example, if I remove this, okay, immediately you see a error is thrown. That means inside the interface you need to have a, you need to initialize your variables. Okay, and by default these variables are final and static. Okay, you cannot override this variable in any of the class. Okay, any of the class means whatever class you implement this interface. Okay, first I will just explain you interface, then I will connect how Java resolves the diamond problem using this interface. Okay, means how Java can implement, in Java you can implement multiple inheritance. Okay, so likewise you can have different variables, string, double, etc., but the catch is that they need to be initialized in the interface itself. Then another thing is you can have a method. As I said, interface is a complete abstract class. Okay, you can say it's a complete abstract class. That means your method cannot have a body. Okay, method cannot have a body. You can simply write the declare the method that needs to be implemented in your subclass. Okay, for example, you have something like boolean is negative. Okay, then it will take int I. Okay, so here as you see we have an interface. Okay, you have an interface, and you have two abstract method. Okay, you don't need abstract keyword here, like you need abstract keyword in abstract class. In interface you don't need to declare it as abstract, because by default this method will be abstract only. Okay, so let's create another interface. Let's name it if2. Click on finish. Okay, so I quickly created this interface if2, and inside I have declared one method. Okay, it does not have a body and it is the same method as in if1. Okay, then I will have a base class. Here I will write implements if1. Okay, so it's working fine. Immediately you see a error is thrown that add unimplemented class. Okay, so this is the use of interface. This is like another use. That means whatever method that you declare inside a interface that needs to be implemented in your base class, so this is mandatory. So interface can also be used as a protocol for your code, right? So whoever wants to implement your interface, they have to keep in mind some method needs to be implemented mandatorily. Okay, implemented mandatorily, right? But before that, let's see how Java resolves multiple inheritance. Okay, see, let's implement the unimplemented ones. So here as you see it's not throwing any error. Why is that? Okay, so if you check our code, here we have void display method. It's not having any body. In if2 also we have void display method, so it's not having any body. Okay, so here what was the diamond problem? Diamond problem was that your two parent class will have the same method, and it would be having some implementation, right? In the class it would have some body, some definition of the method, but in the interface they don't have any body, right? So whatever implementation of this method you are doing, you will do in the base class itself. For example, I print something like this from base implementation. Obviously, when we run this display, it will print only this because neither if1 or if2 have any body. So there is no chance of diamond problem here, okay? And so hence using interface, Java supports your multiple inheritance. You can implement as many interfaces that you want, okay? You can implement as many interfaces that you want, right? So before we move on, let me just rule down something, write down the rules for you. Variables need to be initialized in interface. Then variables are final and static. Base class needs to implement all method. Then yeah, the method implemented should be public, okay? So if you check this, when Eclipse implemented our method for us, it made it public. So it is mandatory that whenever you implement any method from the interface, you need to make it public, okay? So these are some of the rules for interface. You can take a screenshot of it, okay? You can take a screenshot of it. So next, let's move on to our uh, reference variable, okay? For that I will create another class, namely sample main. I'll just give it a random name, okay? So here you see we can create a base class b equals to new base class, right? And b dot display, and then we'll print something like b dot is negative, okay? We'll- so is negative is not having any code, we are simply returning false for now, okay? So when I run this, you see we are getting the output, right, as we expected here from base implementation and from false, right? So what will your interface variable will be, okay? For example, I create if1, right? When I create if1 and just name it if1, right, like this, and here, and just change this as well. So you see base class is implementing these interfaces, right? So likewise, what happens in abstract class, we can have a reference variable of our abstract class, but we cannot instantiate the abstract class. Similar logic applies here. You can have a reference variable of the interface, but you cannot have any instantiation of the interface, right? And using this reference variable of the interface, you can have the address of the instantiated object, okay? The object will be your base class, right? So this helps you in a abstraction. How is that? So for example, if there is a large code base and someone wants to see the interface, means they want to go to the root of this, what do you say, root of this implementation. If they click on this, they will only get this interface, right? They will only see the main interface. So this is like how a abstraction will work, okay? So interface provides you with absolute abstraction, okay? So our next topic is nested interface, okay? So this is also very much similar to your, what do you say, to your nested class. For example, you have an interface inside the base class itself. Let's name it if3, and here you will have display, okay? No, let's change the name for now. Let's name it show, okay? So inside this you will have a class, let's say C, then it wants to implement, and how we'll name it, we'll just name it base class dot if3 and done. Then of course you need to add the unimplemented method, and that is how the nested interface works. Nested interface simply means inside a base class, inside any class, not just this base class, inside any class you can declare an interface like this, and then any other class can implement it, but it has to use the base class dot then your interface name. Okay, so that is how nested interfaces work. So hope you understood how to import packages, and hope you also understood how what is diamond problem and how Java provides a solution to it using interfaces. And if you have any doubt regarding any of the topic that is taught today, then feel free to comment down below so that we can clear your doubts. Okay, so don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, whoever is interested in learning Java, and do subscribe to our channel for more such video. And our Instagram link will be available in our description box. So do follow us for more update and some unique tips and tricks regarding programming and related technologies. Thank you.